How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about Andrew Abbott. Cincinnati Reds start Andrew Abbott. He comes up in to the league this season. Expectations kind of in the middle, right? You know, higher prospect, we should say, for the Cincinnati Reds team. But what was going to happen? You know, you didn't know we had a spot for him. Let's see what happens. Turns out this guy, he looks like he could potentially be the ace of this team in the future. The future, though, which is very important to consider right now. Andrew Abbott right now, right around 140 innings pitched this season, the most he's had in a season by far. And we're starting to see, if you will, his control, his command kind of go down in the last few games. You wonder if there's a little arm fatigue. You wonder if he's just going through a rough spell. Nonetheless, 3 of the last 5 games, he's allowed 4 or more runs. First 10 games he pitched, he allowed 4 more runs once. So clearly a little bit of a rough patch in the road for him. The question is, again, is it the arm? Is it just a rough patch? Is that all it is? You do worry about that late August, and you do worry, do the Reds consider potentially shutting this guy down, being 24 years young, first full major league year, and again, the potential to have him locked down for 5 more seasons, and the potential of him getting hurt if you keep him out there longer. I think one of the things you think about, it's the risk reward. You remember they did one of the more notorious ones was when the Nationals did it with Steven Strasburg. They shut him down early. Nationals going to the divisional series and think, man, if they would have had Strasburg in the playoffs with that team, that roster, maybe they could have won the World Series. And you look back year in and year out, think, well, if we was just one starting pitcher away, that weighs a lot. You may never get there again. You never know. And that's the thing, too, you consider to say, if the Reds got a chance this season in a playoffs with a chance to make a push, do you take that chance? But again, do you take that chance and say, what if he continues to look fatigued, continues to look worn down, and it's got something to do with the fact that he's not used to pitching this many innings? So it's a really difficult situation for the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, of course, you'd love to see this guy play. No questions about it. Is there a way that you give him, you know, I've thrown this out there and thought about it. It's kind of, it might seem crazy. It was like, is there a way to say, hey, we're going to give you 3 weeks off? You know, like an IL stint, but not an IL stint. I think the problem is you don't want to keep a guy on your roster that long. People consider about that. It's never something you hear of. But you think, well, you're playing for the future. What's the difference? Might sound crazy. What's the difference in a 20, 30-day IL stint when you can't pitch or do anything? Or just saying, hey, we're going to shut you down for 20 days, ramp it back out, come on, pitch. I don't know. Not a pitching coach. Can't throw that one out there. Nonetheless, you know, it was a random idea. Otherwise, Reds front office in a very difficult spot right here if they continue to be a playoff team, because he's been a big part of it. And you don't know. This team, it might be the beginning of something great. It might be the beginning of a team that makes the playoffs twice in the next 6 years and doesn't go anywhere. And you say, hey, this was a year they had a bunch of young studs playing well. They had the pitching coming together. You never know. Nonetheless, I'd like to see him pitch. I'd more importantly like to see this guy healthy for the next 5 seasons as an ace for this franchise, because I do think in a Red situation, this is the beginning. It's certainly not the end of some winning seasons, you would think. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.